Hello everybody and welcome back to my X3 series. In this episode I'm going to show you how I started in this particular campaign and how I came to accumulate the wealth that I have currently. So when you hit new game you're going to see the list of pilots that I showed you in the first episode, and for this playthrough I chose a Argon Peacekeeper. I believe it's going to be the first or second choice in that list when you click new game. Because the Argon Peacekeeper starts with an Eclipse fighter that's kind of fully decked out already with pretty decent shielding and also pretty decent weapons. The Eclipse is just, I find it to be a pretty good fighter all around. It's an M3 class and it's, I don't know, I think it's pretty good. But more importantly, why I chose the Argon Peacekeeper is because you start, let me go to my pilot status, you start at the maximum faction rating for the Argon Federation. You also start pretty high as the Borons because these two factions I guess are allied, and I think faction rating is very important, especially if you want to start buying ships and stations early in the game, which the method that I'm going to show you today, you can accumulate wealth pretty damn fast, and it's going to be good to have at least one faction that you have maximum ranking with so that you have access to every single ship and every single station that faction provides. So, when you first start the game, you are going to be in Sector Argon, Sector M148, and you can kind of see the path that I had, or that I flew when I first started out with my Eclipse fighter. I took my Eclipse fighter from here, I flew all the way through here, all the way up here. Originally it was just one sector at a time because my end goal was to get to Argon Prime. Now I know that the Argons control this area of space and this area of the universe, and I want to make sure that I had both of these kind of areas revealed so I can kind of jump back and forth between the two, because over here in Argon Prime and the surrounding territories there is some decent mining, because you can also, I didn't mention this in the first video, but you can mine, you can build mining stations, and actually it's pretty important if you want to have your own self-sustaining empire to have a lot of mines going. But the thing is that in this sector of the universe is kind of like the furthest west of the universe that you can go. I think there's one more line of sectors right here, and besides that you're at the end. So it's kind of tucked in its own little corner. It's a very safe place to start your station building. You know, like if you want to build well, mines or, well, anything really, you can start your building here, and it's going to be fairly well protected. The Argons have multiple fleets kind of flying through these sectors, looking for pirates or any other enemies. Plus, this part of the Argon space is pretty far away from the fighting with the Terrans, which kind of happens in all throughout this sector of, or this part of the galaxy. So it's a safe bet to start in Sector M148, which is going to happen if you're an Argon Peacekeeper, and then make your way down this route, because this route also, by kind of going up, over, and then up and around, this bypasses all pirate sectors and any other enemy faction sector, like the Xenon and the Cock, which, in case you don't know anything about this game, that is an actual faction name. Those are the two hostile races that you're going to come across along with pirates in this game. I guess you can kind of pronounce like Kach, I think is how the computer pronounces it. So anyway, they all have sectors. Well, actually, do they? I know the Xenons have sectors in this galaxy. I'm not sure if the other race does or not. But there are also pirate sectors. So this route that I have through here will get you through, like, this is split territory. Then this is Tiladi, this is Boron, and then you go south into Argon. So I flew all the way over here, got to Argon Prime, and then I flew back to Seaswell. And I'm going to make a jump there and show you the Tiladi Stock Exchange. Now, Stock Exchange stations can be found all throughout the universe, but I always prefer to go to Seaswell.
At 10%.
Let me press J to make this go faster. But I choose Seaswell because I have almost never seen a pirate attack or any kind of attack whatsoever in Seaswell. So you can you're free to just kind of sit there and view the Tiladi Stock Exchange, which I'm going to show you here in a bit.
Seaswell.
And just make a lot of money. Because from the beginning of the game, you're not going to have much capital. So this is going to be an easy way to get some easy capital to then go on to the bartering that this mod that I'm playing with introduces, because bartering in the vanilla game is not that great, but with the Rebalance Mod, bartering is like so flippin' amazing. You can make so much money. So yeah, this is Seaswell. So what you're gonna do And also, I kind of forgot to mention this, but if you want to have, you know, just a little bit more cash before you come here, it's pretty easy to find a lot of fighting around these sectors, and you can try to locate like other M3 class ships or smaller, and if you can kind of kill them off here and there, the Argons typically pay you money as long as they're Terran vessels. You almost always get money if you destroy a Terran vessel. So if you want to spend some time also with combat, on your way up through here, you can stop in these sectors and, you know, try to destroy fighters that belong to the Terran race, since you guys are at war with each other. Alright, so you're going to want to come here to Seaswell, and then you want to go and locate the Tiladi Stock Exchange right there. Now keep in mind, when you first enter a sector that you've never explored before, you're not going to see like any of this. You have to actually fly through, and you will reveal stations that are within your radar, which is the kind of like lighter color here. But of course I've already flown through here. So you're going to want to go to the Tiladi Stock Exchange, and you're going to want to land. So you can just, you know, do like autopilot dock at. I'm not actually going to dock there, but I'm just kind of showing you. And when you land, down here in the bottom left, as soon as you dock, you're going to get a flashing message. Read that, and it's going to ask you if you want to pay 10,000 credits to gain access to the Tiladi Stock Exchange. You're going to want to say yes. That's a very important part. You say yes, and then what you're going to want to do is undock, and then just kind of just pick a spot out in space. Try to stay away from like the main shipping lanes. So I don't know, stay by an asteroid or something. Anyway, pick your spot, and you're going to want to stop and get out of flying mode, which you can get in and out of by pressing spacebar. Then I don't think I covered that. And then, excuse me, as long as you have, this is info about the ship that you're piloting.
Mercury is the latest addition to the Argon merchant fleet, and it is a worthy successor to the Argon lifter. Armed with an aft turret for defensive
I don't want her to
purposes
talk.
And increased shield space, the Mercury is more than
can I actually
capable of
change that?
defending itself.
Oh, well, whatever.
Mercury is the
Damn
latest
it.
addition to the
I'm sorry.
Argon merchant
You're going to want to
fleet,
make sure that your ship
and
has
is a worthy
this
successor
system,
to the
the
Argon
trading
lifter.
system extension system. What that thing does is that actually allows you to trade with stations that you're not actually docked at. And why this is important is because when you're outside of a station, you can activate your SETA drive, which is going to be very important when you're doing your stock exchange. You can't activate SETA drive inside a station. So the Eclipse does come with the trading extension software, by the way, automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. So you're going to want to contact the station, or I'm sorry, no, you're not going to want to contact the station. You're going to do this, click on here on the map, and then do View Local Stock Exchange, and you're going to see this screen. This is going to be a screen you're going to look at for probably quite some time. At the top is going to be your pilot name and how much money you currently have. Now, what you can do is you want to get rid of weapons, you want to get rid of shields, you want to get rid of missiles, energy cells. Okay. So, for me specifically, I typically only look at like the top half of this list. Now, the important thing to look at, and you can, well, I'll get to that in a second, is the index. You typically want to buy shares when the index is in like the high 90s, or you can also buy it when it's in the hundreds or above. Like here, I'll buy this, and you can press the end key to automatically buy as many as you can, and then press enter. Did that work? That should have worked. Alright, so I just bought some stocks in the biological microorganisms. So you want to buy high, and it actually shows you what price you're going to be buying them at. It says trading at 29 credits per share, and then you want to sell low. And it's just going to take it's going to take you some time to just kind of get a feel for the stock market, to see which items typically run high, and then like see how low they go. Like for biological microorganisms, I know that it's probably going to hover in the red in these hundreds for quite some time, but then for a little bit of time, it's probably going to drop down to as low as 60, which means that the lower it is, the more money per share it is. So let me see if I can do an example here. So I bought shares in there. It shows me that at right now, if I sold these shares back, I would be at a net profit of minus 31,000. And you can see that I also already have shares in a couple other of stocks, and I actually kind of forgot about. So what you want to do to make this go faster is you want to activate your SETA drive. And if you press any key, it's going to cancel the SETA drive, just to let you know. But you can kind of see it. It's active in the bottom there. It's a set of drive active 1000%. And we're going to sit here and watch the index number and wait for the number to get low. The hundreds is not low. That's as high as they can get. This could take some time. Guess I didn't really think about this. I'm kind of hoping this game works with me here, and so I can at least show you an example. And so this is, you can kind of want to see why you want to be out of a station and in SATA drive, because this, if you were just in a station watching the stock market, that's going to take you forever. It takes forever, well, not forever, I mean, obviously, but it takes a while to get a lot of money on the stock exchange. But this is a very safe and actually kind of quick way to do it, or to make money at the start of the game. So yeah, again, you can kind of see why you want to be in SATA drive for this. I'll tell you what, I see the Tiladi paneling is up to 159. I'll just buy all the shares in that as well. Yes, buy shares. Okay, go back to the screen. And again, it's just going to take a while for you to get a feel of the ranges. Oh, here, there we go. And then it immediately dropped down to 78 in the index, which you can see I'm going to make 425,000 profit if I sell. So I press end to sell everything. Sell shares. Boom. I just made $425,000 or credits or whatever in just that short amount of time. And this is how you're going to make your money. I would definitely, at the start of the game, choose your battles, per se, in the stock exchange. I would watch it for a little bit to see, or like, I guess I can just kind of tell you, like, biological microorganisms, you can typically make a lot of money if you're willing to be patient. Construction equipment, you can typically make a lot of money, again, because these things can fluctuate from the high 100s to, I think I've seen them go to about 50 or 60 in the index. So you kind of want to sell them when they're that low, and you can just make so much money. And then also the weapon interface chips, if you're patient, will eventually drop down to a low index to where you can make a lot of money off of it. So you're going to be doing this for just, oh gosh, I don't even know. I would say you want probably at least around 5 to 10 million before you move. Ooh, actually, no, you're going to need more than that. Hold on. Because you need to buy a transport vessel. Hold on. Let me show you how much money you're going to need. Because you're going to probably want to buy the thing I'm in right now, which is a Super Freighter XL. And you can get that, if you're an Argon Peacekeeper, you can get that as soon as you have enough money from this sector called Black Hole Sun. And you want to go into the John Furco showroom. And I can trade from here, I think? Yeah. Because I actually have an Eclipse station.
The Federal Argon government commissioned Bala G.
There has to be a way to turn that voice off. I know there is. Oh, by the way, this is where you change your setup factor. So by default, it's at times 6. You probably want to put that up to times 10, which is the maximum. I know there is a way to get her to be quiet. Right? There has to be. Verbose ship computer. I think we turned that off. I think that was it. Ha! Okay. So that's how you turn her off. I wouldn't really recommend turning that off if you're just, starting out. But if you kind of already know your way around, I guess turn it off if you want to. Alright, so let me show you how much money you're going to need to save up. Because like I said, to start bartering, you're probably going to want this Super Freighter. And since you're an Argon Peacekeeper, you're going to have a high enough ranking to go to the John Furco showroom and then purchase one. So, if I was not max rating with the Argon... Well, you know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, this John Furco showroom, I believe, is actually new to the mod. They have these showrooms all around the galaxy. I'm assuming that they're tied into your rating with, the Argon, since this is selling Argon equipment, but I honestly can't say for sure, because the showrooms are new to me. But I'm assuming they follow the same ranking or race rating that. Anyway, what you're going to want to buy is this Mercury Super Freighter XL. So it's actually pretty cheap. That's only 1.9 million. That's not bad at all. And I guess I can just kind of show this real quick. I have a lot of money. So You're not going to probably do this from Seaswell. You're probably going to have to actually be docked with the station. The only reason I can even trade with this right now is because I have an Eclipse docked there right now. So technically, I think I'm trading through my Eclipse, kind of. Alright, so I'm going to just purchase this. I'm going to purchase one by using the arrow keys.
Ship ordered at shipyard.
Okay, so after you order a ship, you can kind of see what the ship comes with. It comes with 4 times 200 megajoule shielding. It is a TS class ship. And, yeah, the installed ship extensions, it comes with Trade Command Software MK1. So what you want to do is click OK, and then it brings you to a screen where you can upgrade your ship with whatever that is available at that showroom, or I believe at any equipment dock that is in that sector. So what you're going to want to do is you want to max out your cargo bay extension. This max out your cargo bay so you can have more things installed in your ship. Engine tuning increases your speed.
Tuning installed.
And then rudder optimization, I believe, increases your maneuverability.
Rudder optimization installed.
So you're going to want to buy all of those. I should have kind of paid attention to how much money that was. Apologies. Let's see, what else are you going to need? You can get the Fight Command MK software. I believe this is the software that allows you to give commands to any turrets you have on your ship. But I don't know for sure. And honestly, you're probably not going to be in a fight anyway. So you could ignore that if you're strapped for money. You can ignore those. You're going to want Navigation Command software.
Navigation Command installed.
You're going to want the Singularity Engine Time Accelerator. That's your SETA drive. Without that, you cannot use a SETA drive. You can see how cheap it is. It's only 252 credits. So any ship that you plan on piloting, you always want this.
Singularity Engine Time Accelerator installed.
And you always want a trading system extension in any ship that you're piloting, because that's what allows me to talk to other stations if I'm not docked at them.
Trading system extension.
And that's all you're going to need. So let's see. So the ship itself is 2 mil. I'd say total, you probably want at least around 7 to 10 million to start off with. It's not. It'll probably take you about an hour, maybe hour and a half to 2 hours total, depending on how good the stock market is doing for you. But it shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't take too long to get that much money. So after you have accumulated that much money, and after you have bought your ship, and hopefully you're piloting it, you're going to be taking it out of the John Frickel showroom. Let me actually just go to Black Hole Sun. Oh, also, the only thing that I know by heart, another reason why I choose to fly over here, is where to find jump drives. I know for a fact, because of my previous playthroughs I've done, that there is a jump drive to be sold at a station in Home of Light. It's actually a TerraCorp station is what it's called, and they sell jump drives, which is another reason why I fly over to this part of the world, because it's the only thing I remember by heart, you know, it's the only thing that I remember where you can find a jump drive, which is why I can now jump all over the universe. Alright, so that's also a little tidbit there. If you want a jump drive, I know for certain that there's one in Home of Light. I'm going to jump drive back to Black Hole Sun.
Charging at 10%. 20.
And then I'm going to show you the bartering system. And this is where your real money is going to be at.
Black Hole Sun.
So, what you're going to want to do is, after you purchase your ship at the John Frickel showroom, which is actually this station right there, you're going to want to dock at this military outpost.
Docking granted.
I have found
activated.
that military outposts and trading stations typically have the most merchants to barter with. And so that's why you kind of want to look for them. So the military, I'm actually going to fly around the circuit that I do to kind of show you a pretty safe circuit that's, you know, safe from pirate attacks and such. But you're definitely going to want to have a jump drive. And a jump drive costs, I think it's 1.5 mil in this mod. You can always look online to see where else you can buy jump drives that are closer than the Home of Light sector that I showed you. But that's just the one that I know off the top of my head. But that's going to be important. And you need energy cells to jump drive. Each jump takes energy cells. So keep that in mind too.
On behalf of our President and Senator, the Argon Federation is honored to welcome you aboard.
Thank you. And I believe... Yeah. So you can see energy cells. They're not that expensive. but you will need them to jump around the universe, and typically most military outposts, equipment docks, shipyards, all of those will sell energy cells. So when you're bartering, if you're low on energy cells, you can probably just check the trading, which, alright, so yeah, I guess I should go through this. The trade is everything you can purchase from the station, but we're going to be looking at bartering, which is talking specifically to different merchants that are basically docked in the ship right now, or the station. Alright, so this is the screen that's going to pull up when you go to barter. There's the sell where screen, which you typically want to ignore at all times. You typically want to ignore that. I'll get into the situation when you don't want to. You're going to want to be looking at the buy where section. So before we get started, to show you how kind of crazy bartering is, I have sold product that are about worth like 50,000 credits, and I've sold them to gain product that's worth about 10 million. I'm not even joking. The money is in the weapons. Just remember that. So, since you're first starting out, you're going to want to start pretty small. And you're going to want to focus typically on purchasing microchips, hacker chips. Well, not hacker chips, I'm sorry. Hacker chips are actually an illegal product in this game. And if you get randomly scanned by somebody, they're going to force you to dump the hacker chips. So, I mean, if you want to take the risk, I would say buy them. But if you don't want to take the risk, do not buy hacker chips because they are illegal. You want to buy Invidium, you want to buy quantum tubes, and you want to buy Keras. You kind of want to stick with those few goods when you're first starting to barter, because from what I have found, and actually from what a friend of mine who's done this more than I have has found, is that these particular products are bartered for throughout the universe a lot more than anything else. So starting out, you want to focus on those. So like, let me just do an example here. I'm going to go through here. You can see the merchant name on the right. This is all the same merchant, and this is their wares that they are offering. Like this guy's offering hacker chips. He's offering 30, and it's telling you how many your ship can hold. This is why you want a super freighter or something that has a large cargo bay, because you're going to have a large stockpile of items on your ship so that you can trade them and barter them as you come across good deals. So right now we're going to be looking for microchips, Invidium, quantum tubes, or Keras. There we go. We have quantum tubes. He's offering 118. And then you're going to press enter and you're going to go into the screen. Now in this screen, it's showing you what this person is willing to trade for that amount of quantum tubes. Or if you want to, you can just give the money value. And that's typically, you just want to always buy the quantum tubes, the Invidium, the Keras, and the microchips, because you're going to be using those to acquire weapons, which are worth a hell of a lot more than this. And it's going to take some time. It will take some time for you to just kind of know offhand how good of a deal you're going to be getting. I'm trying to think of an example. Like a Keras. Like I know that's one single Keras can typically sell for 8 grand. I know that a quantum tube, I think it's like 14 grand. And you can find that out. Actually, you can just find that out by dividing, 492,000 by 118, and you can basically get the price of what each individual quantum tube is. But anyway, so I'm going to purchase the stack of 118.
Quantum tubes bought.
And now you see a lot of things are... Oh, oops, no. This is annoying. So it's always going to go back to the sell where screens by default. So you're going to have to go back to the buy wares and then continue to just go down. Here we go. We got microchips. So I'm going to buy the microchips for 258 grand. I could trade, but typically, like I said, for these base products, you want to just purchase them.
Microchips bought.
All right, go back here. So there are a lot of things in this game. Like I know I had the money for it. I typically want to purchase also fighter drone MK2s. I guess you can too. They're not too expensive. A lot of the better weapons that people barter for sometimes ask for fighter drones. So I guess you can feel free to buy those. But Mark IIs. Remember to buy the Mark IIs, not the Mark 1s. Okay. Anything else in here? There we go. Nice. We got Keras.
Keras bought.
So we're going to buy the Keras. More microchips. Always buy the microchips.
Microchips bought.
Scroll down. Also, a cool thing about bartering is that when you get to the point when you have a lot of money and you start looking for weapons to outfit your ships with, you can typically find the weapons you want in in the bartering screen if you're willing to look around. Like there's a particle accelerator cannon, which is a pretty common weapon. If you need those, feel free to purchase them. But anyway, Anything else of the basics? Nothing else is sold here of the basic that I have told you about. So now I'm going to go through the list and kind of see if I can find an example of a good trade. Okay, so this, like I know that a concussion impulse generator is a pretty big weapon. What you can typically tell, or how you can kind of tell if you're new to the game, at least I think this works pretty well, is that if you can't hold that many, like 86 is not that much when you compare it to like a Tomahawk heavy missiles, 134. Typically the weapons that you can't hold that many of pretty much always go for a lot of money. So this dude wants 1.46 million if you just want to buy them. But we have 31 Karas on board, and even at 8 grand per Karas, you're still making a hell of a profit. So we are going to trade 31 Karas for these 3 concussion impulse generators.
Concussion impulse generator bought.
And let's see, let's look at a plasma burst generator. Now, if you're new, I know the names of most of these weapons by, off the top of my head. Like Starburst Shockwave Cannon is a weapon. So the goal is you're going to always trade these base materials for weapons. That is where the money is. Let's look at a Starburst Shockwave Cannon. So for 4 of these, I could buy them for 2.5 mil, or hey, look at that, I can sell 31 Karas.
Starburst Shockwave Cannon bought.
That's a hell of a deal. Let's look at the Plasma Burst Generator. It's probably going to be the same deal because this is the same merchant, Scott Onheim. There you go, 31 Karas. That's not as good of a deal. Actually. I'm not going to do that one. Let's keep looking for some deals here. Firestorm Torpedo. Nope. Not enough money. Particle Accelerator Cannons aren't that expensive, so typically you don't make much money off of them. Excuse me. Anything else? More missiles, more missiles. Okay, so the only time that you want to go to the sell-awares is if you're looking to sell the weapons that you have bartered for. Sometimes you can find a deal here in this screen amongst the merchants that is going to be better than if you just trade it off to a station. So let's kind of scroll through here, and everything that you own that is on your ship is going to be highlighted in yellow. So, like, I have a particle accelerator cannon that I could sell if I wanted to. But for right now... Alright, so none of those new weapons that I just purchased is anything that these merchants are looking for. So, what you can do is then just go to the trade screen and then scroll down to the weapons section. And as far as I can tell, every single military outpost has purchased all the weapons that I've bartered for. So, which ones did I do? Was it Starburst? Yeah, so you can see that in the bottom of the screen, I have 4 on my ship. So I'm just going to scroll over, press enter.
Starburst
there we go, I just sold them.
Cannon sold.
And that's all profits. Now, I have a lot of things like a mobile drilling system. So when you get a lot of money, mobile drilling systems are going to be another item that you want to stockpile because you can make a ton of money off of trading them for other massive weapon systems. High energy plasma throwers. I guess I forgot to sell these before I started recording, so I'm sell them now.
High energy plasma thrower sold.
I have a Gauss cannon. That's another crazy system.
Gauss cannon sold.
And what's kind of weird is you can kind of see in the stock part of the screen, it says 0 of 2 available. It's pretty crazy. You have to sell 2 at a time. It won't let you sell, like I have 6 when I started this. You have to sell 2 at a time, then press enter, and then just keep doing that.
Sold.
It's very weird. Fusion beam cannon. I bartered that. I think I got that for about 20,000 worth of product. So that's almost all pure profit.
Sold.
Sell off these concussion impulse generators.
Concussion impulse generator sold.
Alright, so you can kind of see how you can make crazy amount of money. But now I'm going to show you my circuit. So I go here to this military outpost in Black Hole Sun. I also typically check out the trading station, which is right there. You can also go there for bartering. So military outpost and free Argon trading station is what I do here. And the merchants seem to, by the time that I get back here, the merchants have all traded out for new merchants so you can get new deals and stuff. So now I'm going to jump to my second place. What the hell? Oh yeah, CO Sprite. Jesus, I almost forgot. So I'm going to jump to CO Sprite into the north gate.
Charging at 10%. 20.
I'm pretty sure it's this one. Forgive me, it's actually been about a week since I've done this bartering
Entering
loop.
system.
Yes, okay, this is a great one.
Sprite.
So CO Sprite is pretty cool because, all right. So you have this is typically what I do. I do the Tiladi trading station. As you can see, it's highlighted there, kind of in the middle of the map. Then I travel to the Tiladi shipyard, which you can find some merchants in shipyards sometimes, but typically military outposts and trading stations are better. And then after the Tiladi shipyard, I check the military outpost. And then after I've done all the deals there that I can, I then just jump back to Black Hole Sun, and I just keep doing this. I choose these two sectors because I rarely see any enemies in these two sectors, so you're not going to really be threatened. And since you're going to be in a transport, if you're threatened, I say you need a jump drive. Okay, I can't stress this enough. You need to get a jump drive before you start this, because if pirates come into the sector and if you hear the beep that they have targeted you, you want to immediately press Shift J, which is how you jump drive, and then you want to just jump drive anywhere. Your jump drive will charge even if you're under attack, but you do not want to sit there. You cannot defend yourself. I cannot stress this enough. So you just want to jump immediately. And it should show you. Yeah, okay, so we start out in CO Sprite. I forgot to mention this. So to kind of show you how far you can go on energy cells. So to get back to Black Hole Sun, you can see here, it's going to take 170 energy cells to make this jump, and I have 369 available. So that amount of distance, that amount of energy cells, to kind of give you an idea of how much you should always have on board. I typically always have around 1,000, and then whenever I'm at a military outpost and I'm running low, I just buy more. And that's typically what I have. That's all I did for a couple hours before I actually started to record this Let's Play series, was to make as much money as I could. And I mean, I'm now sitting at, let's go, my pilot status, 123 million right now. It took me a couple hours to get that amount, and yeah, it's just a very easy way to make money. So you start in Black Hole Sun, military outpost, trading station, jump drive here. And what's really cool is that the Tiladi trading station, you know, then the shipyard and the military outpost, it's all just in one little line. You just kind of travel down the line, see what deals you can get, and then you just jump drive back to Black Hole Sun, and you just do it, rinse and repeat. And every time that I've, you know, have come back to another station, all the merchants have been different. New deals are there to be made. So yeah, so the biggest amount of time it's going to take is to get a feel of what items are worth what. Like I said, mobile drilling platforms, you saw that I had a few. Those typically trade up in value for better weapons, but like, it's just going to take a while. I would highly suggest that you probably get a piece of paper, or you know, open up Excel spreadsheet or something, and anytime you like you go into a screen where the bartering screen where it says, you know, you can buy the quantum tubes for this amount of money or you can trade them, just divide the amount of quantum tubes or whatever item you're going into the amount of money that they want, and then you're going to find out how much that item actually is. That's an easy way to do it right off that screen. And so I would suggest, you know, write that down so you know how much each one of that is, so you know how much of a profit you're going to get when you trade the quantum tubes up for some kind of weapon that's, you know, worth millions. And that is how I made my money. I hope that is, you know, I hope you understood all that. I guess I could show you more, but you know, it just takes time. Like for me, it took a couple hours to again get a hold of or handle on how much everything was worth, what deals were good, what deals were not, and you're just gonna have to kind of feel it out for yourself. But that's a very safe and easy way to make a ton of money very fast. And since you choose an Argon Peacekeeper, if you want to just jump into buying stations or ships, like I showed you in my first episode, I bought that Centaur, which was like 16 mil. You know, that this is a... The hell? Oh, I think I'm just kind of sitting in the jump... Yeah, my bad. Never sit in the jump gate. I'm just kind of sitting here. Let me kind of fly off to the side. That's why I got hit for 50% of my shielding. So yeah, that's why I choose an Archon Peacekeeper, because I knew that I was going to be making a lot of money fast, and I wanted to jump into the series and purchase a lot of ships, purchase stations, and I think that a high ranking with a faction is more important than money, because I think there's an easier start to make money, and that is the humble merchant. Like if you look up YouTube, you can just type like humble merchant start, and you can see a very easy way to make money that way too. But I view that, you know, the rankings with the faction is more important because, well, I mean, money is easy to get, as I just showed you. So yeah, I would definitely suggest, if you want an easy start, Argon Peacekeeper. You know, go through the steps that I showed you in this video, and you should be able to have money, or a ton of money. And it's still going to take time, but it's fast still, kind of, and it's also safe. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you got to, you know, learn a little bit from the game and how to make money. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. And that's going to do it for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. Next time, I'm probably going to show you... Oh man, I guess this is kind of turning into a tutorial series. This wasn't my initial idea, but I figure I might as well show all these things off. So next time I'll show you probably the sector trading, and we'll get into that in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.